Hi, this is Gillian from Get Living Raw Foods and Wellness Coaching. So today I actually want to show you very simply what tools you should be using in your kitchen. And the most important tool that I would suggest is your knife. This is a chef knife. It's a very good knife. This is a double Henkel. There's all different types of knives that you can get. This is my kitchen knife. This is my special knife. And this is a Mac knife. This is quite expensive. And of course I have a great diamond blade knife sharpener. So I like to have sharp knives. If you have good knives, this is really a key to enjoying your food, enjoying working with food. I sometimes choose to chop my food than to use some of my machines over here. Isn't that crazy? But I just find chopping food, I'm in touch with my food, I'm chopping my food, and it's just meditative. I just find I have a lot of aha moments. I just enjoy touching the food. It's just, I don't know, I just really enjoy chopping. And get a video on how to chop properly. Maybe at some point I'll put in a video of how to use your knives properly so you know how to chop. I mean, when you watch those great chefs chopping and you see how amazing and fast it is, it's something perfected but by practicing. So get yourself a really good knife. It's worth the investment. If nothing else, first item to get is a good knife. Something else I really like is that has to cost. This is a little bit more expensive because it's a more expensive one, but it's your spiralizer. And I've got my zucchini on here, and I like this one because you can hold your hand over here while you turn, but you can see the beautiful spiralized zucchini. With that you can make your zucchini marinara, pesto, pasta with it, so it takes the place of pasta as well, and I can make it even thicker to have a different texture and technique as well. You can use it in your protein bowls or your Buddha bowls, and with different with sauces. It makes a salad look very attractive. The reason why I got a more expensive one, I used to have the cheap one for the longest time, but I really want to do beets and sweet potato, and I find the cheaper ones sometimes don't do sweet potatoes very well. So what I looked for just slightly longer spikes over here, which could hold your sweet potato really well, and I found that was actually very helpful. So certainly don't go spend money if you're not going to be doing sweet potatoes and beets, which are a little harder. But just definitely your zucchinis, your cucumbers, your different types of fruits as well work very well with your spiralizer, with a simple spiralizer. People ask me what tool would I recommend if they had to spend some money and they had limited resource. And no, don't forget, this has taken me years to accumulate. I didn't just suddenly go out and buy everything. I try and encourage people to buy stuff when you know you're going to use it, because sometimes you have too much. If you go out and bought all this, you're going to be overwhelmed, especially your dehydrator. It just could be too much for you at once to be able to understand. But the most important tool that I find is my blender. So this one is a Vitamix. I'm not promoting Vitamix. There's a Blendtec. There's, I don't actually know a whole lot, but I know in England you have a different type of machines. In Australia you have a really good machine that I know my friend uses. So different types of machines. They have a great bowl. They do have a bowl for grains, but quite honestly, I don't even use it. I use this for my grains. I use this for everything. So you don't go spend extra money unless you want to. Some people like to have it separated, and that's fine. So this is great. I'm going to show you how powerful it is. So that's very powerful, and it's going to crush everything. It's going to take your celery and your kale, and it's going to mush it into a liquid. That's what I love about it. So you can quickly do your smoothie in here. Great way to start in plant-based eating is to start with smoothies or your vegetable soups. Already you got your breakfast, you got your lunch, and you're already 50% plant-based, right? So a great way to bring nutrients into your body. So a great tool to have. I've had one of mine for 25 years. It's not this one. I gave that one to my daughter when she went to university. She loves to eat plant-based and make smoothies, so she got that one. So good tool to have if you can save up a bit of money for that. But otherwise, your ordinary blenders will work just as well. Another one that I encourage people after you get your blender is your food processor. Now this is quite an expensive one. You do not have to spend money on this. I've used cheaper ones and they work fantastically. I do a lot of, obviously, I do catering, I make products, and so this one does everything. This particular one comes with a whole case of stuff here. And it's got the one thing that I really love about this one, and I'm glad I have this one, is this, I can adjust the slicing blade. And for me, some of my food items that I do are very specific. So a lot of the cheaper ones will just come with maybe 2 or 3 slicing blades already set, so you can't change them. But that's not a problem. I used one of those for years and it worked very well. So you don't have to spend a lot of money on one of those, but definitely handy to have. A great tool to have in your kitchen. And I have a drawer just right down here where I have all my equipment, except this stays on my counter all the time because it's used all the time. The next machine I would recommend is your juicing machine. Whoops, I think it's still plugged in because I was making a juicing this morning. So now this actually was the very first machine I actually invested in because I was very sick and I just couldn't get myself off the couch. I had no energy, totally exhausted, had real gut issues. So I did buy this as my medicine cabinet, and it's used today like that. I don't use it a lot, but I go through phases. Right now I'm going through the phase because it's change of season, and I like to keep my immune system healthy while we're going through the changes, right? So you can see how, like, if I squeeze, this was my juice this morning. You see there's almost no juice coming out of that. Totally squeezes everything out. That's what I love. This is a Solar Star. It's also expensive, and you don't need to spend a lot of money either. But I have had this for over 25 years as well. And the only thing I changed was this piece here just recently because the other one had got all damaged through moves and whatever. What was amazing I love about this company, and I'm not selling this product, I'm not making any money, but they had the same piece that they have for the latest model fit this older model. So I really appreciate that I didn't have to buy a whole new machine because this is very powerful. And it's if you're choosing, you can see the other ones, the centrifugal ones that are throwing the food around, the mesh part is really large, and people tell me how messy it is. This takes me minutes to clean. And then it also is crushing this way. The reason why I like this one through masticating this way is that the nutrients will stay for about 3 days without them being affected. So I can make a batch and keep it in my fridge, keep it covered in my fridge, and so I'll make a whole batch all at once. So this is a great tool, especially for, as I said, for your medicine cabinet if you're feeling just a little sick. Some people use it all the time, and absolutely great resource. But this fiber, as you can see, this is all the fiber, and I really like fiber, and I do want this fiber in my stomach. I do want to eat it. So that's why juicing I don't do all the time, because I do believe in good fiber. But then imagine all this nutrient that's going to be easily getting into my system immediately without having to work with fiber. So as I said, I use this very carefully as my medicine cabinet. So great resource as well in plant-based eating. This is a great tool as well. This is just made out of bamboo, and it's my steamer. So I just use for steaming. Pick these up really cheaply, and it's because bamboo is not toxic. It's great for your vegetables. Another tool I like is my dehydrator. I've actually had a lot of fun with dehydration, and it's a 9 tray. I only have 2 trays in here right now just to show you. So each tray comes with a mesh like this. And then you have to buy these separately, and usually you can whatever style you get in, make sure you get these kind of sheets that go with it. They're different styles, of course, but just make sure you choose those. So these are, so I said, this is the Excalibur. You can get a 4 tray, but I suggest the 9 tray because when you're going to, I don't use it all the time. So if I decide I'm going to make wraps, well, I'm going to make 100 wraps at once, or cookies, I'm going to make a pile of cookies, because with dehydration your food's going to last a long time. So it's a great tool to have, but make sure you're ready for it. Great books out there, great resources, And I have some of my YouTube channel. You'll see I do use the dehydrator in some of my products, especially in my when I'm making my hippie mix or my kale as well. And I'm doing some cheese making soon, and I'll be using my dehydrator for that as well. So these are boysenberries that I picked wild, and I just put them right on they're tiny little berries, and I just put them on my dehydrator as is, put it on for 24 hours, and I got these, they dried up beautifully. So I'm going to use my Vitamix to crush them, and I'll have a powder, so it'll be my extra superfood that I can add to my smoothie. Another tool is, sushi mat, which goes with my sushi peeler. And this is great to use just to make any type of wrap. You put your nori sheet on it, and then you roll it up really nicely. Also, my milk bag or cheese bag. Sometimes I can put my cheese in here and I hang it so that it can let the liquid to come from it. But if you're going to be making your almond milk, you've soaked your almonds all night, and you put it in your Vitamix to blend it all together. You don't really want the grimy taste in your mouth. So I'll put it in my milk bag and I squeeze it out. It's like milking a cow. And I get this beautiful milk. This is another type of milk bag as well. My first one I bought, and this is my second one. And I think that is all. Did I mention? I did mention my offset spatula. So this is just a few tools. You can spend a lot of money and get all kinds of tools if you like. I do have a sprouter machine, but only because I make a lot of sprouts as well. That I didn't show you. But so you can make sprouts in bottles as well. That's also a nice enhancement to plant-based eating. Anyway, I hope you have found this helpful, and please subscribe, check out my other YouTube channels, and I'm just glad you were watching.